What's up, everybody? This is Marcus, your MTT coach of the Academy of Poker, and here with another video, another hand review of an interesting spot I went into where where I'm not completely sure if I done everything correct here or if I made some mistakes. And yeah, I thought, like, as with the other hands, of course, sharing this with you shows, how to change style of plays and yeah, how to find mistakes to make sure in the next time I know what to do. And by sharing this, you will know this too now. And yeah, that way we will improve ourselves together, which is always a good thing. And yeah, you can see it for free on YouTube. So I think that's pretty nice. Hi guys, my name is Marcus. I'm an MTT coach of the Academy of Poker, and we have a great offer for you. Our current Academy of Poker course will only cost you 200 euros, but if you do it the right way, you can even get it for free. All you have to do is hit the link in the description below, get in contact with our managers, and you can start right away. And now, enjoy the upcoming video. This is from, if I remember correctly, a $22 bounty builder tournament. Actually finished up ninth yesterday on my stream, actually. And this was in the early stage. As you see, everybody's still really deep. And yeah, the situation that occurred here is we play in hijack, and actually he's our opponent in the end in the cutoff. As you know, like in simple post flop, you can't really put a multi-way action into it. So I just decided to like have a flatting range here and the flatting range versus sim to see how we continue on that. And yeah, so first thing probably is I could have 3-bet here. As you see, I don't really have any hands on our opponents. This was the third hand of my tournament here. As you see, not really have any infos on those guys. And on that point, so that's why I decided to flat here with some more information. I'll probably 3-bet, but in general, if we are that bit deep, I can probably 3-bet this a bit more often than flatting jacks. Like I definitely 3-bet queens here, pretty much always, and then jacks is on the edge. Tens I will most likely just flat here in at least 8 out of 9 or 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 cases. But yeah, deciding to flat jacks here. Therefore, we have like two callers behind us, which could, of course, their ranges might be a bit wider, but a bit annoying then here. Anyway, we got to the flop, and as you see, like here is the opponent that I'm talking to. You see rainbow flop 773, and after he checks, I think pretty nice standard bet for us here. And then we can have a look first, of course, on the ranges. As I said, this is what I'm basically flatting here versus the open from UTG +1 with the 80 big blinds that we are deep here. Fairly standard. We have some 3-bet bluffs in there for sure. As you see, like jacks most likely flat, have 50-50 according to the ranges that we are using here. Cutoff overcalling range here a bit wider, way wider, as you see, almost 3 times as wide with the ranges. As you see, especially with me flatting, that also puts down a little bit the action and towards him 3-betting here. Also, there was already a 3x open. So yeah, we see just pretty much his top range will be a 3-bet here. Sometimes maybe ace, queen, king, queen suited, also with some blocker effects towards aces, kings, queens in those situations, which is nice. But yeah, we head to the flop. As said, I'm betting around a little bit less than a third, which, with my hand, let's look at the specific hands I'm using. It's fine. As you see, pretty much everything is a third here. However, the bigger focus is on betting half the pot. So a bit different here, as you see, but my sizing's still fine. As you see, pretty mixed here. Almost everything is a third, but at least betting a third of the pot is the good thing. And then let's have a look at what he's calling here. I see some overcards for sure. The jack X will be of course harder. He's not raising a lot, as you see. Maybe 8-7 suited, which I'm actually a bit surprised of that this is raised because the board is so dry. But it's probably because I don't have that many bets here. Or actually, as you see, with his raises, yeah, he is definitely valuing my over pairs or bottom pairs that are most likely not folding. Also, I will probably, just because it may not seem to make that much sense, you could have like 6-5, 6-4, 4-5, maybe. That would be the only thing. So we will, with a lot of backdoor equity, call a lot with those with the overcards, the suited overcards, but also already fold a lot. Which that's why it's a bit interesting for me to see that 8-7 suited is a raise here that often, because I would not put that into my raising range here on the flop. I actually don't, probably would just lean towards the overpairs here on raising them. Anyway, he goes for the call, and we see turn, which is the 8 of hearts. I continue for roughly a third again. He calls one more time, so let's have a look here. And this is where like probably my first mistake occurs. As you see, like 1 out of 10 times my sizing is fine, but in general, GTO tells me to go for the over pot bet, like 1.2 times the pot. And as you see with the overpairs, this is always the plan here to do. Um, Also sometimes with the picked up equity here with the suited overcards, to just see, like, if we have a look at when we bet this, what he's calling, you see that we just get so many hands to fold, and it's always only the value hands that call here, as you see. So we narrow our range down massively. I would probably not go for that play ever. But as I now see, like, GTO says this is the play to go. This makes sense. As said, we with jacks, we still get value from tens and nines. As you see, like all the eights, even some single pair eights, will be calling here. So probably with that, we are really trying to get value from some 8x, and then it's with jacks especially, it's down to tens and nines to get value from. But as said, like, his range is fairly down. We get the rest to fold anyway. So because of that, because of the bad hands that fold anyway. So if we choose the small sizing or the big sizing, like if you see this, uh, he's folding a lot of this anyway, and is only floating with When you see the hearts, as you see, the rest will be folded anyway. So only the nut flush draws, which we wouldn't get to fold here anyway. So we get value. We get value from these hands anyway. So this is nice, but we get all the trash to fold. So we're pretty much trying to really point out the value for nut flush draws, and tens and nines. So it's not that much, and as you see, I think could be around 50-50 to the hands where we are still ahead with the flush draws and the two possible overpairs that we still beat versus the hands that we are behind. As you see, pocket eights, 8-7, 7, 7-6, and pocket threes. So it's actually like 2/3 to 1/3, I would say. However, we go for the third sizing again, which I said, like, it is okay. Not the best here. As you see, it's roughly like a fifth, like 20% of the case. It's fine. We would, with queens, we would rather go for that. Also with all the pocket pairs, especially with these, because of the range of the opponent that is really hardly pointed towards tens and nines. We should go for the overbet pot, because a lot of times, as I said, if we bet small, he folds all the hands that are not flush draws or not a seven anyway. So in that case, we can get a lot of chips, a lot of money from nut flush draws that are still not folding. So that's why this sizing is chosen here. Really interesting way. Definitely gonna keep that in mind. So because I think it's really interesting, but it does make a lot of sense to go for that. So yeah, one small mistake on that side. And yeah, he calls, as said, as you see, the calling range on that is a bit wider even. Let's see, as you see, even those ace highs now still call, and then like this is a bit hard because you see, like any queen, king, ace, especially in hearts, is really annoying for us, and then that way we toggle it a bit down towards those ace high hands that are still calling us. Like, let's see the rest is folding pretty much. Interesting to see that king jack of diamonds tends to call here sometimes. That's kind of interesting to see. Just pretty looks like kind of random to me. I mean, we don't play it. It's just 75%, which this is even happening here. But yeah, kind of interesting to see. And yeah, we end up on the river where I decide to go a little bit over half the pot. So we decided that action. Let's calculate the river one more time. And here, this is around the bet I chose. We can have a look at the jacks, and here, in this case, it's fine. Um, you see pretty much 50-50, a bit different, but if we look at it overall, the half pot sizing is the majority here. If we see like tens and nines as well, go for some bluffs here with the jack 10 suited, for example. Check all the misdraws, even check queens probably because it's really good. Like we don't block any of his possible draws he has on the turn, whether we have with a jack or 10 or 9, we have 10 9 jack 10 jack 9 that we're still blocking, but with queens we don't block anything of that, which is pretty good for us. So that's why we check to leave him to give him the opportunity to bluff more often. And yeah, with jacks, tens, and nines, because we don't have those, we do block those hands. We rather go to, yeah, go for some 8x he might be having, or even sixes, fives, and fours. I think they will still continue to call here a lot. Now the interesting thing is that he jams the river now, and yeah, at that point I hate it myself. For first of all, for going for the pre-flop flat only, which allows him to probably have threes. I mean, in the way this is $22 tournament, and if you watch my stream, I've seen crazy things happening, and especially or even close to the final table. So people really don't care about any ICM spots or ranges in any way. So he could have very well still have pocket deuces there, but same with pocket threes. And as you see, all the hands that raise here, there's not a lot of bluffs in here. And to be fair, I really don't think that there will be any bluffs involved here. we can even we can even add the strategy here where we see that I'm pretty sure he's just not like he will just not put any of these in. He pretty sure is also just not raising this, and then the rest with all these he's not raising any of these. So I mean we could at least to give him something. Whoops, no, I wanted to go for 50. Whoops, no, I changed that. Sorry for that. Used the wrong one. So let's go for 50% here maybe. But in general, I mean, it will change a lot because now he just doesn't have any bluffs, and which means we just, yeah, in this case we just fold everything. Funny enough. So let's try to keep it the GTO way. What has been chosen here, and in that case, we see at least some bluff raises, or even with nines, there's the raise still. And as said, like some, as you see here, 50% of the time with the missed flush draws, we do that. But other than that, it's way more towards value, like these three combinations, or these three combinations plus like one each here. Yeah, this is all 100% full, so only with the hearts. And interestingly enough, though, because I ended up folding here, because I just didn't see him not having it. Given that this is a $22 tournament, and he was like just like a random fun player, not a regular in any way or so. And when I bet this big, that I'm not folding anyhow, so I don't really see him folding here ever. So for me, it was down to like pocket sevens, 8-7, 7-6 suited, ace-7 suited, pocket threes, pocket eights, pocket deuces. So that's why I end up folding. However, GTO still tells me here to call even ace-8 suited, funny enough. And of course, as you see, deuces, sevens, eights, nines, tens. So all the pairs should have been 100% of a call here, interestingly enough. I think in this situation, giving like that, in certain situations, you just see that people are not capable of doing bluffs there. So this spot is so much under bluff that you will like calling jacks all the time here. in that situation, from my personal point of view, is probably not making me much money because I don't see him waking up with ace eight now. For example, he would just call that down, and that's it. So it's a seven here, pretty much always, and most likely even like rather full house because a lot of times they would raise the turn once there is an additional flush draw if he only has trips. So yeah, I think personally my fold is fine here, even though GTO says here go for the call. What I can have a look at is if I chose the big sizing the GTO was giving would say on the turn, how it would change on the river here, and then we can see, for example, that we would even start checking the jacks. And the thing is, I don't have much behind as you see, so that sizing doesn't add up. Um, but if I bet this and the opponent even calls, I mean, you see the ranges are just not there. If you go for the check and the opponent jams, we should still call with the jacks, as you see. Funny enough, even make calls with the with ace highs here, with ace highs here a lot. But then again, this I really think yeah, this line is this is a bit out of line then. Um, but still, I think really interesting spot here. Let me know, guys, would you have folded the jacks here on the river? Would you have played it differently? What do you think on the turn sizing, as said with GTO saying I should with jacks in general, or tens and nines as well, so with all the overpairs here, should go for the 1.2x pot sizing. Oh yeah, probably, as I said, also I think the questions are making a 3-bet pre-flop to prevent this already from happening. So, but in general, like 3-betting jacks here is most likely fine with UGG +2. So that was the one thing, and this is, I think, for myself, I think the number one mistake I made here to not 3-bet jacks here. However, flatting it in a certain amount of time is definitely fine. But that deep, probably 3-betting is better here with jacks. And yeah, then the sizing on the turn, and if I should even fold the river, giving that I have, as you see, 128, so I get 3-1 on the call, even a bit more, almost 4-1, as you see. Yeah, 3-1, as you see here, 2.77 to 1. So almost 3-1 on the call, which means I only have to be right around a third of the time. Do you think I will be okay here a third of the time, that he actually did jam like tens and nines, for example, here, or sixes and fives for some reason? Um, could be if he's a fun player. Maybe he thinks that this is still good, but I doubt it really hard. I'm really towards eights, threes, deuces, sevens, or 7-8 suited. Mm. But anyway, let me know in the comments, guys. I'm really interested to know what you think about this hand. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, guys. Good luck at the tables, and we'll see each other in the next video then. Bye.